Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. My name is Steve Peterson, and this is one of my Hyundai Veloster Turbos. This is a project car that I bought with a salvage title. It was rear-ended in a minor accident. Basically, I bought the car for some spare parts, and I've been in the process of tearing this car down. I got some of the suspension components pulled out of it. I've been using them on one of my other projects, and the goal is to eventually get this engine and transmission off this car and finish stripping out the interior and things like that. So today's project is to remove this whole front core support assembly. I'm talking about the upper core support, the lower core support, your AC condenser, your radiator, and your cooling fan. I'd be removing all of this in one whole section. It is possible to remove the core support in pieces, meaning you can separate this upper core support from the lower. If you're just trying to maybe do some work here on the fan assembly, or you're trying to access some of the wire harnesses here in the front of the manifold, maybe you're trying to just get the intake manifold off, it does help sometimes to remove this upper core support. So that would be a scenario where you would just remove that top half. This top half is only held on by 8 bolts. They're 8 12-millimeter bolts. There's 2 in the front and 2 in the back on both sides. Once you remove those, basically the whole upper core support section is going to just come out. You will need to disconnect your hood release cable and the hood ajar switch, unplug those, and again, this whole upper core support and hood latch assembly comes out. Today, I will be showing you how to pull this whole core support off in one whole piece. Basically, I need to walk you through a few steps. It's not very difficult. Some basic tools, a pair of pliers and a couple sockets is all we're really going to need. I am assuming that you've already got your car up to this point. Obviously, if you already got your bumper pulled off, there is a front crash bar that comes across the front here. You would be removing that. And then normally from the factory, your OEM intercooler assembly sits over here to this side. So you would need to get that out of the way. That's just a couple simple hose clamps, and that whole assembly basically comes right out. Once you've got all of that kind of out of the way, you're pretty much ready to knock this core support out. Draining coolant would be a first step in this process. After you've drained the coolant, there's just a couple hoses, your upper and your lower radiator hose you're going to need to disconnect. Once you've disconnected those, you can move over here to the side to the AC lines. Now there's 2 different ways to disconnect these AC lines. You have a high pressure to low pressure AC line. It's an aluminum tube right over here on the side. You can't miss them. They go right in here back on the side of the condenser. There is a connector with 2 10-millimeter nuts that just hold these down. This would be the ideal location to disconnect your AC lines. Before you disconnect them, you're going to hook your AC machine up and suck the refrigerant out of the system. If you don't care about the refrigerant that's in the system, I suppose you could just disconnect it and let it off into the atmosphere. Just know that when you go to reconnect it, you're going to have to refill your AC system with refrigerant before your AC system will work. The other way to disconnect these lines is going to be right off of the side of the AC condenser. Again, just 2 10-millimeter nuts holding those lines into the condenser. You're going to take those 2 nuts out, and you'll be able to pop the connectors off, and those will be separated. Once you have your coolant drained and your coolant hoses and your AC lines disconnected, we have the bunch of wires here that comes off of the harness. These wires have a couple things that plug in. First of all, there is a plug that connects into the boost pressure sensor that is on your, if you have a factory intercooler, it's going to be plugged into the sensor at the top of your intercooler. If you've got an aftermarket intercooler, whether it be a 6th Element or a Turbo Sox or something like that, and I'm talking about the full front mount, that relocates that pressure sensor. It's still on the high or pressure side of the intercooler piping, but it does relocate it. So anyway, you do need to disconnect that. You're also going to unplug or disconnect the connector that goes into the boost or the blow-off valve solenoid. So you've got a blow-off valve solenoid that plugs in over here. And then just 2 more plugs. There is a main power plug and the other plug that runs into the fan module for the cooling fan assembly. Both of those get unplugged, and your wire harness is now completely disconnected from your core support. The only thing that makes this car special is the addition of these two transcooler lines that come off of the top of the transmission. This being an automatic trans, you have a high pressure and a low pressure transcooler line that run basically off of the top of the transmission here on the side, and these hoses run down and around the bottom side of the fan shroud and come up on the passenger side and connect into the radiator for the transcooler side properties of this system. If you have a manual transmission Hyundai Veloster, you do not have transcooler lines. You can skip that step. It does simplify this just a smidge because now you don't have to deal with trans fluid leaking anywhere. We are not going to drain the trans. I am basically just going to disconnect the lines and let them drain into a drain pan. Eventually, I will plug those lines, but for now, again, I'm just going to disconnect them and let them drain into a pan. You are going to need a plastic pan of some sort, whether it be an oil drain or a bucket. I like using this plastic tote because it's got a nice big area to catch coolant. When you go to drain your coolant, on the bottom driver side of your radiator, there is a plastic plug, basically like a drain plug, and you're going to either use a pair of pliers or you may be able to use your fingers, and you're going to reach in there and you're just going to twist that plug loose. Once you've done so, coolant will drain out, and that starts our process. So without further ado, I'm going to show you pulling this front core support off. First thing first, we're going to drain coolant. Again, here on the driver's side, on the bottom corner of the radiator, there's just like a plastic twist drain plug. I have already put some pliers on it and kind of cracked it just a little loose so that I can finish untwisting it with my fingers. If you need to crack it loose, just a pair of pliers, you'll be able to reach on it and kind of twist it loose. But again, I've kind of already started mine. So I've got kind of a plastic drain pan here to catch coolant. Once it starts draining, you unscrew it just enough here, and coolant's going to start coming out. There we go. I'm going to just set this here down on the floor. Don't lose the plastic plug for the radiator. We're going to set that up here for now. And to make this drain just a little bit faster, I am going to take the radiator cap loose here. And that's going to basically relieve some of the pressure in the cooling system and make it drain much faster. While that coolant's draining, I am going to disconnect my AC lines. Now, again, you are going to want to hook your car up to an AC machine and suck the refrigerant out of the system, or at least depressurize it. If you do not, be aware that if you disconnect those AC lines, they are going to burst. Basically not burst, but they're gonna pop loose, and they are going to release refrigerant into the atmosphere. You're gonna breathe that in, and it's gonna blow out. So be aware that if you do not suck that refrigerant out of the system, it's still in there. We are gonna disconnect these two 10mm nuts here on top of those lines. I have already drained my system, so we're gonna pop those off. Once you've taken those two 10mm nuts off, you'll be able to kind of wiggle the lines around. Wiggle the lines around a little bit and pop them out of their place. And just kind of push those back away out of the way. This is for the fog light and the horn. Normally you've got your horn that's sitting down here. This car, I've already removed that. I have also already removed the two 10mm bolts on the driver and passenger fender brackets. Coolant's still draining. To disconnect the plugs here on the electrical connectors for the fan, I like a pair of pliers. You can reach in there and squeeze them and disconnect those plugs. Those look like that. There's a big one and a small one. Again, you just kind of like leave those in here. Actually, I'm going to kind of pull those out of the way. Okay, up and out of the way there. Coolant has fully drained. I have the wire harness all unplugged from the module and the fan control here on the fan housing. I've disconnected my AC lines. Those are all popped off and ready to go. My last two steps here are going to be to disconnect the upper radiator hose here at the connector. So it's just this clamp, basically a pair of pliers, and you'll be able to take this hose clamp off. And then I've got the two hose clamps here on the trans cooler lines. I'm going to release those. I'm going to have an oil pan ready to catch any trans fluid that may leak out of these lines. They shouldn't be under pressure, but there will be some fluid that will probably leak out of those once I disconnect. Lastly, there's two ways to get the lower radiator hose unhooked. Well, actually, there's three ways. You can unhook it from the lower section where it connects to the plastic elbow at the radiator. There's just a clamp on there. Kind of difficult to get to it from underside. I find it's easier to disconnect it where it connects on the coolant inlet or outlet of the front of the engine. There's just another hose clamp, very similar to the big metal one that's up here. Kind of difficult to get to. There's two ways to undo that clamp. Either one, you get yourself a pair of pliers like so, and these are designed to basically clamp onto your hose clamp and lock, and it basically locks onto that hose clamp and makes it so that you can move it and move it around. So what you do is once you've got it loosened, you can release your pliers, let go of that hose clamp, and remove your tool. Basically, this allows you to get to that hose clamp that is down in there without having a pair of pliers down in there. Obviously, this one I could have easily, put a pair of pliers on it and squeezed it and released it. But that one down there, special pliers, or you wait till you're ready to remove the whole core support and you're able to unbolt the core support and kind of pull it away enough that will allow you to get a pair of pliers down in there or channel locks down in there and release that clamp. And you just pop the hose off while you're pulling the core support off in one whole movement. I've done it that way. I do have this nice pair of clampy pliers here. So we're going to get those off there and release these trans lines next. You can see how I can pull away the radiator and core support here, and I just realized that I didn't unplug the, there we go. You gotta remove the hood ajar switch as well. Don't forget about that. If you use some channel locks, you can kind of squeeze the plier and pull the whole core support up off and kind of set it on the floor. The other thing that I forgot to disconnect was the hood cable. So don't forget about to do that. Otherwise you'll be fighting with it with one hand like I just had to do. Okay. So that is the whole core support off the front of the car. You can see the whole core support separated off the front of the car here. Here's the back side. You can see here's the lines that I was talking about for the trans cooler. You can see that those kind of run down and under and around, and then they connect right down there into the radiator. There is your lower coolant hose. You can see it connects into kind of a plastic elbow there, and it's very difficult to get to that clamp. So that's why I recommend disconnecting it from right here. This is the connection for that hose. Here is the bracket that I was talking about with the two 10mm nuts that hold the AC lines in. Again, you're going to want to replace those seals if you were to be reinstalling all this. And then here on the fan control module, there is the power, and that's where that big, larger plug in. Pretty accessible there. On the hood release cable, it's kind of like a brake cable. Pretty self-explanatory there. It's easy to just kind of twist out and disconnect that. And then, as I mentioned, don't forget to disconnect the hood ajar switch as well. So that's pretty much it. Disconnects and removes the whole front core support there off the front of the car. And now you can see how open and everything it is here in the front, how easy it's going to be to basically just pull the whole engine and transmission out right from the front. I will have to pull the battery and battery tray, and then right underneath that is the trans mount. And then obviously the motor mount on this side is going to disconnect, and I'll be able to just pull the motor right out the front here. Whole engine and transmission together. One whole assembly. And if I was replacing it, obviously I'd do the same. I'd go right into the front and bolt everything back in. This allows you to keep the whole turbo assembly attached. I actually still have the downpipe on the engine as well. I disconnected the downpipe where the 2-bolt flange is for the catback exhaust. So basically at the bottom side of the downpipe is where I disconnected from. But again, this whole engine will just come right out. And now that we've got this core support out, we can move along to the next project.